Hey everybody, and welcome to Dog Talk with Michael J. Solar. Today we're going to be really exciting that we're going to have a guest today, and she's going to here to tell us a little bit about an event that she's having and why she's having it, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. And I also want to go out there and say thank you to everybody that's listening to this podcast, and I want to say thank you to everybody that's continuing to share it. Give us feedback and tell me what you do like and what you don't like about my podcast as we continue to grow in listeners. All right, everybody. This is Dog Talk with Michael J. Solar, and I want to say thank you all for listening once again. And again, I want to ask everybody to continue to share and like these podcasts as they keep coming out. As you know, when I originally started this, I was on the 105.7, The Fan, and it was a great radio show, and I decided to take it in a different direction and go ahead and do this podcast. And a couple weeks ago, as I stated in my last podcast, I was approached to do a little bit of different topics besides dog stuff, and we got tons of feedback and got to meet some really neat people in the past couple of weeks. And I do apologize that we haven't had a podcast in a couple of weeks, but we're going to try to get that organically done every Monday for everybody. And what I've learned in the past couple of weeks is that I want to take Dog Talk in a new direction. This direction is going to be about helping others, motivation, and just talking about different challenges that we all face and seeing how we can help each other get there. And today, my guest today is going to be Jennifer. What was your last name?
Miller.
Jennifer Miller. Jennifer Miller, I got to meet a couple of days ago via telephone. She heard about me from Barron's Canine Country Store, which was awesome to know that, you know, I'm the first person that popped in their brain when this person was seeking help, and they pointed her in my direction. We actually wound up talking for about 2 to 3 hours a couple of days ago about things that she's going through right now, and some challenges and things like that. And one of the things that she reached out for was an event that she's looking to host called Luke's Mega Million Bash. Now, this event is to raise money to help her pay some medical bills for her son that's going on, and that's what our podcast is going to be about today. So she's going to give you all the information on how to go ahead and get that website information and to buy your tickets to come out and support her and help her with what's going on. Real quick, what is that website, or how can they get a hold of you if they're looking to buy tickets right now?
So right now what we're doing is we have a Facebook fan page for Luke's Mega Minion Bash. They would go online and type in the exact event name, Luke's Mega Minion Bash, and it will come up.
All right, so just so everybody knows, it's not going to be L-U-K-E. It's going to be L-U-C-S Mega Minion Bash. Sorry. So it's going to be L-U-C-S M-E-G-A MINIONBASH, and you would type that into your Facebook, right?
That's right.
So when you do the search engine on Facebook, that's what you're going to write. Again, it's Luke's Mega Minion Bash. So Minion, not million. So that's where you can go check that out and get going and be a part of this fun event that's going to be coming up. That's going to go to 100% supporting Luke and Luke's family. So today we have Jennifer Miller, as I said a little while ago. And Jennifer and I got to speak a couple of days ago, and I really learned a lot. And I actually gave her some tips for today's podcast, and one of which she brought today. And I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of what I'm reading here. One of which is pretty neat, that she had met her husband on a website, which is pretty neat to think about that, because you know, a lot of people are nervous about that kind of stuff, but it just goes to show you that, you know, when you're willing to go out there and face challenges and take risk, you know, a lot of great things happen. It sounds like she was able to meet her husband, and it looks like 8 years ago?
Yes.
8 years ago on web dating service. So it goes to show you that she's not afraid of taking risks and facing on challenges. So, you know, you guys, you know, when you're thinking about things in life, you know, and you see something that's difficult or risk-takey, you know, sometimes the reward is well worth it, is what it looks like. So today we're going to be talking about her son that she had with her husband that she met 8 years ago. And if you could just tell us a little bit about your son.
Well, my son was born on January 28th of this year. We actually found out way before that about his condition. It was September 14th of 2016. We had gone down to GBMC to find out what the sex of the baby was. And the doctor came in and told us, you know, your son has hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And that's where the left side of the heart is either underdeveloped or not developed at all, which means you're missing a ventricle. At that point, they wanted to kill my son. They wanted to take his life because they said, ultimately, these kids don't survive anyway and need heart transplants. So we're not even going to waste our time. Let's just scrap it and let's start from fresh. I've worked in the medical field for 10 years, and that's not the way that I work. So I immediately went and got in touch with my closest family, told them what happened, got all kinds of tests ran. So the only thing he had was heart defect. And that's when we came across Dr. Luca Fricella down at Johns Hopkins Hospital. And he clued us on exactly what this is we're looking at. Ironically enough, about 2 years before I even got pregnant, my cousin Brandon and his wife gave birth to a son with the exact same issue. Ironically, my mom's adopted, so we're not related. And he died 14 surgeries later. And it was the one fear of me that I was going to lose my baby. So we went and got the exact same doctor that they had. And he was actually a more moderate case than what Noah was. And all the worst case scenarios, he'd be a preemie, he'd be in NICU for months and then go to PICU and then have surgery. He came out a champion right from the start. He was breathing on his own. He came on 40 weeks exactly, 7 pounds, 6 ounces, perfect weight. And 2 days later, he had his first open heart surgery at 9 hours. They cryogenically froze him so he wouldn't go brain dead, so his organs would not fail him. He was in suspended paralysis, as it were. And they pretty much had to take a synthetic type of sono shunt, as they call it, and take it from the bottom of the right heart and position it up to the pulmonary artery to allow blood flow to the lungs. He then needed a cardiac cath after that, which went wrong. They actually didn't need to do the cath, but the doctor pushed for it anyway. And we realized that the sono had started to close on him. 2 stents had to be put in that. And then about 3 weeks later, at about 6 months of age, in the end of June, beginning of July, he had his second surgery, and he did fabulous on that. They took the valve at the bottom of the heart, cut it off, patched the hole, relocated to a second bridge straight to the pulmonary artery, which now does pure blood to not only the lungs, but to the body. And they also have cut 2 entrances into the heart so the blood can just be dumped into the heart as well. Because like I said, you're having the right heart not only circulate the blood out to the body, but back to the heart. Pretty much at that point, everything he had done fabulously. We had another issue where they accidentally nicked him, his thoracic duct. So he had these tubes coming out of his chest where they drain the blood, and milk was coming out of it. So then they had to put him on a non-fat formula, which caused him to lose 5 pounds in a 24-hour period. We almost lost him that way, and he went on rapid response. Wow,
it's amazing to could you imagine being a parent and having to go through this? It's a neat element in a sense of emotional turmoil that just goes and goes and goes, and it just shows that as a parent you have to be strong to go through all that kind of stuff and be there for your child and for your significant other. With that being said, I mean, it sounds like you were in the hospital for months after he was born.
He was in the first time for 7 weeks.
For 7 weeks, and then whatever the second one was.
The second one, he was only supposed to be in there for a day. It ended up being a week because of the stents, and then the last one was supposed to be a week, and it was 2 weeks because they nicked him by accident.
So when you had him home, was he just in perfect health immediately, or?
He was still on oxygen.
Still on oxygen.
A quarter of a liter, but like I said, the things that they thought he would need, he didn't. Like his feeding tube came out immediately.
Okay.
He was breastfeeding or getting formula. That was never a problem. So, I mean, he was still active. He was playing on the floor, rolling around, and growing just like he should, because infants and toddlers have come out, and they're just shocked by how much of a miracle baby he has become.
So since the surgeries, things have been going good.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yes.
Now it sounds like when we just say it's just a surgery and normal things like that, it sounds like it'd just be like a normal run of the mill. Went in there, had your tonsils out, but when you think about how pediatrics work, I mean, the surgeries themselves are very delicate and probably very costly. Is that right?
Absolutely.
So with that being said, I see here on the notes that you actually lost your job.
I did.
You lost your job for being there with your son, I guess?
Well, they let me take off for both of them. I mean, I took off for, I think, a grand total of like 2.5, almost 3 months. And it got to the point where they didn't have the kahunas to fire me, but they started, you can't breast pump. We're not going to need you as much and do this. They took everything, and I had no choice.
So you had to leave the job. It basically just little by little, they nudged you out the door.
Yep, pretty much.
Due to the things that you had to do for taking care of your son.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's plenty of women out there that have similar stories. And one of the things that, I could say, if anybody that knows me, is that I'm just really all about the people. And it's a shame that we are in a country now that has a lot of issues going on and things being brought up. I mean, I've seen a big debate about even breastfeeding in public.
Yep.
I to be honest, I really don't understand it. I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I look at it that it's a natural behavior, and if I think if the female mom feels that she's comfortable enough to do something like that, I don't really understand why there's a problem. I mean, we make exceptions for a lot of things out there, and I just don't really get half the problems that I see coming up with today's society. I just don't understand why we can't look at people as people, and why we can't do these things together. I mean, what you're saying is with your job, saying that with the breastfeeding is a problem and things like that. I can get where they say, oh, it's special treatment. I can sort of see that to a degree, but I also look at it saying, like, how is it special treatment if they warrant and offer to everybody that's in need of it? I mean, what's the difference, right? I mean,
it's true.
Statistically saying, how long does it really take to I guess pump given I'm a male, so I don't really know.
15 minutes. 15 minutes, that's all it takes.
I've seen tons of studies where between work breaks and things like that. I mean, I'm an objective type of guy. If my employees are doing what they're supposed to be doing and they need an extra break to take care of their family, I would say that I don't see a problem with it. I mean,
and these are women.
Yeah, it's crazy to see that. I also see that you lost your condo, which I'm assuming is because you lost your job. So since your son's birth.
We actually lost the condo before I lost my job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
We told them about our son, and they actually looked it up themselves. They brought us in a week later and kind of forfeited the contract. And they were like, look, there's no penalty fees. We're going to let you out 2 months early because we know with the severity of what this is, you're not going to be able to stay.
Wow.
So they let us out. It was actually the kindness, but it was still hurtful because, like...
Well, you're still... Yeah, I mean, you're still trying to you're trying to figure out your family, never mind...
Right.
Now you got to look for a place to stay, which is really difficult. You know what I mean? I couldn't. Again, this is one of those things where in life people face different challenges, and we all tend to fight for something. And one of the things that I always look at with it is, if we all join together and help each other through it all, we can all achieve greatness. And that's what crazy to think about. In this case, like, all right, they're being nice to you to let you out with no penalties. Well, thank you, but now we're homeless and we need to find a place that's going to bring us in and let us do these things. At the same point in time, you're facing medical bills. You're facing driving to Johns Hopkins from Bel Air, which is an hour drive, plus tolls, plus the parking, which anybody that goes down to the city knows that you're not going to find parking. Parking's $20 for a few hours. Next thing you know, you're going head over heels broke just trying to pay for parking down in the city. You're sitting in a hospital. Food's expensive in the hospitals, so now you're sitting there in the hospital. You're literally getting nickeled and dimed to bankruptcy.
Yep, pretty much.
The only thing that's on your mind at that point in time is your son's health. It's not the bills. It's not the job. It's nothing. You're willing to sacrifice everything for your son. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could tell you that me and my wife would give up everything in the world for our kids. It's even one of the main motivational factors for everything I do is my kids and my wife. There's nothing more supportive than family. So, guys, on that note, I would like to personally invite everybody to Luke's Mega Minion Bash, because not only would you be getting to support Luke and helping Jennifer here and her husband sort of get these medical bills down, but it's an opportunity for you guys to come together, talk, celebrate life, celebrate successes, celebrate hardships that everybody goes through, and become one. It's a good way of just joining together, not just to fundraise for a great cause and helping them, but more importantly, to spend time together, learn from each other, and see how we can all help each other grow out there. So again, you can guys go to Facebook, go to LUCSMEGAMINION BASH. That's Luke's Mega Minion Bash. Get your tickets. The event is November 10th, which is also the Marine Corps birthday. So you can even get together and sing happy birthday to the United States Marine Corps, which I credit a lot of my determination to my time in the Marine Corps. So you guys can all get together as well, and you can sing happy birthday to the United States Marine Corps. It would mean a lot to me as well that night when you guys get together. So again, check that out. And as we continue talking to Jennifer, she's also going to let me know, or let you guys know, that Luke is actually due for another surgery. Is that right?
He's due for 2.
2 more surgeries.
Yes.
Now, how old is Luke now?
He's 8 months.
He's 8 months, and he's already going to go for 2 more surgeries. So he's already had 2, right?
He's had 3.
3 already. So we're already off a number in my own head here. So we're up to 3 surgeries. He's only 8 months old, and he's due to go back for 2 more surgeries. Again, as a parent myself, it's depriving to know that someone's going through this at such a young age, and any parent out there will tell you that they would take this from their kid any day of the week, and I'm sure Jennifer and her husband would gladly switch roles.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at a little picture of him right now, and he's a cute little kid. I would love to have met him today, but apparently he has a little fever, so he wasn't able to make the podcast for photos and stuff for you guys. But please check out the Luke Mega Minion Bash, and please, you get your tickets, at least make a donation to help them out so they can continue watching their son grow into the years and becoming a huge part of our society. But she's going to let you know right now a little bit about some of the surgeries that he has to come up, or he's facing now, right? So
yeah.
let them all know about that kind of stuff.
Usually, with this, it's 3 procedures. So we didn't realize this in the beginning, but 2 cardiac casts have to be done as well, because they have to go in through the groin.
Now, what is that? So I don't know anything about the medical stuff besides that doctors wear white coats. Okay. So I got a weird feeling some of the people listening might be in a similar boat.
And that's
maybe,
okay. It's a cardiac catheter.
Okay.
So it goes through the groin up into a vein, all the way up to the heart. And pretty much what they do is they take in-depth photographs of the heart to see how it's pumping, to see the ventricles, the pulmonary arteries, the valves, the shunt that they've put in, all in-depth pictures to see, to make sure that the heart is doing exactly what they need it to do. This is to ensure that before they go in the major surgery, they actually get all the information by those photographs to know exactly what they have to do, even though they've already discussed it. For the last one, it's called the Fontan surgery. First one's Norwood, the second one's the Glenn Shunt, and the third one's the Fontan. The Fontan is the last surgery between 2 and 5 years of age. They want to make Luke wait till he's about 5. That's when the heart is at the biggest capacity, especially the pulmonary artery. The bigger, the better. And that is where they will cut him back open one last time, hopefully. And they will separate his blood. His blood currently right now is mixed, so if he gets too excited or runs around, he'll turn blue. If he gets, cold, obviously he'll turn purple, but it's because he doesn't have all 4 ventricles, it's mixed. So they will open back up that patch I had mentioned earlier and relocate it in a different direction. So it's red and blue.
So a lot of the surgeries are even sounding like they're sort of like exploratory.
Yes, they are.
So if I'm getting this right, so they're exploratory, meaning, and what we mean, that phrase actually means, in case you're wondering, is exploratory means they actually don't know what they're doing. They have a plan, but they don't know what they're doing.
The surgery's only been around for 20 years. This is very, very recent.
So 20 years, 20 years sounds like a long time, but not in medical.
The first surgery, they actually have already done a brand new surgery. Like they even did the newest one on my son. They're like, this is the one we did like 10 years ago. We don't do that anymore.
Right. Yeah, so it sounds like, when you think 20 years, everybody, it sounds like a long time, but when you think in medical practice changes every day of the week. They, and in this case, it's an exploratory surgery.
Yep.
So exploratory surgery means they're going in with a game plan, but it literally can change
at any given time.
At any given time, the entire time, and there's no guarantee that this is something they know works. What they're doing is, all right, let's try this and hope for the best type of thing. So as parents, it's very difficult to even sign off on that, because you know what you have, and where now you're taking a risk and, for hoping for the best. And in this case, and again, guys, I'm going to let you know now, there's a phone number you can also reach out to, and her name is...
That's my mother. That's Esther Mezhnikoski.
There's no way I would have been able to say that.
That is my maiden name, and that's why I married my husband.
And the phone number is going to be 410-688-6498. So if you guys don't have Facebook or just prefer not to go that way, you can actually give a phone call to 410-688-6498. Or you can reach out online through email at lgsapr11182@aol.com. Let me say it again since I stuttered. Be lgsapr11182@aol.com. And that way you guys can reach out, get more information about the event. And I would love to see everybody there. I think it's going to be a really fun time. And it's going to be November 10th at the Martin's East Wind in Baltimore, Maryland. So it's going to be sort of centrally located here in Maryland to get down there, have a good time. And there's going to be prizes, things like that, right? Auctions.
Yeah, we actually, iFly has actually gone on board. They gave us a $300 package for 5 people. And we also got, sponsored by my OBGYN, a brand new Power Wheels car, like, the little kids ride around in. It's a Silverado truck. And it's valued at $400.
Wow! So you can even come to the event, wind up winning a package for iFly. Now, iFly is the indoor skydiving in White Marsh, in case anybody was wondering, which is a very expensive
flying squirrel.
Yeah, it's a flying squirrel. You get to be a squirrel, but it's an indoor skydiving thing. It looks a lot of fun. I actually get to meet a couple of people that did it recently, and they had a blast. And so you can get in there and probably get a good deal on that. You can get a Power Wheels that was donated, which is a Chevy Silverado.
Yep.
So look at that. There's options to even go in there besides just meeting people and having a great time and getting together for a great cause. Yes. Again, we're going to just talk a little bit to Jennifer about things that's going on, one of which is now that she's lost her job, lost her condo, she's had to face challenges of her son being in a hospital, dealing with multiple surgeries. How long were you married at the time?
3.5 years.
3.5 years when you had him, or
3.5
years when you were pregnant?
I gotta think. I got pregnant in 2016, so 3 years.
So 3 years.
3 years.
She's sort of like a newlywed. 3 years into her marriage, new challenge this is her first child. And, and she gets hit with a whammy in a sense of, it wasn't easy. It was a rough one, it looks like. And, at the end there, and her husband essentially gone through some major challenges as a marriage and going through it. I couldn't imagine.
Counseling's definitely helped.
Yeah, I believe it.
And
everybody. Yeah, everybody goes through something different. And to say that you don't, some marriages fall apart. I guarantee there's people that are going to listen to this and can tell you that their marriage, didn't last through.
My cousin Brandon and his wife, they lost their child, and they actually were blessed with a baby boy, not just a few months ago. So this is not hereditary. A lot of times, It's just a fluke, so you can have more kids.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an eye opener, though.
It's going to prep you for everything else, which then makes you probably even hesitant to have more because you're going through this level of stuff.
I can't believe Brandon and his wife even had one, but the fact that they did, it gives me faith and hope knowing that it's going to be okay.
Good. So now you're at 8 years, right?
Yes.
So you went from 3 to 8 years. So it goes to show you the marriage is going well and strong, guys. So it says that, even when you're going through turmoil, you shouldn't just turn on people that are close to you. You got to stick through it and work together. They lost their condo. She lost her job. She's gone through so much. The medical bills are probably actually still coming in from our last conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So they're still coming in. And it's been a few years. It's been a year? Yeah, it's been a year, right?
It has been, no, actually it hasn't even been a year yet.
So it's within. So we're within a year. She's getting hit with some major bills going on here. They're trying to rebuild and take care of their son simultaneously, and now they have to plan for 2 more surgeries. That's why they're putting on this event. So if you're available November 10th, and if you're not, you just want to make a donation again, check it out. Facebook, it's Luke's Mega Binion Bash, or you can give her mom. I'm not even going to try to say the name. You can give her mom a phone call at 410-688-6498. And that way you guys can reach out to her, help her out. Even if you want to call and just, talk about different experiences with her, I'm sure she's going to be interested in it.
We actually have found 55 families for this.
This is great.
It's
just
amazing
to keep to growing and getting things into it. And as you can see, guys, that she's learning a lot and trying to get this kind of stuff out. And one of the reasons why we were able to talk the other day for so long was learning about different experiences. Like one, Jennifer's never done a fundraiser before.
No.
Right? She's never hosted
I'm
a
walking
major.
in blind with this.
Walking in blind with this. And she's trying and reaching for everything and anything. That's why she needs you guys more than anything to show that we're out there and we do support everybody no matter what when they're down and out. So then that way when they get back up on their feet, they can in turn return the favorites, paying it forward. So this is that time, guys. This is that time for you to get in there and help her as she learns through how to do a fundraiser and learns how to be a mother and continues to be a wife to her husband. And that's the way things got to be. So she's going to take some time right now to let you guys all know about the Luke's Mega Minion Bash, when it is, what's going to happen there, and what the main goal to achieve that day is.
Yeah, so it's November the 10th. It's from 7 to 11, so that's a Friday night. And it's all you can eat. So you'll have like steamed shrimp, pit, chicken, barbecue ribs, everything. All you can drink, beer, soda, water. We're going to have a live and a silent auction. Like I said, iFly was going to be one of the auction items, Power Wheels. We even have 2 vacation packages. I believe one of them is to Tuscany, Italy for 8 people. That's pretty huge. And we're going to also have a Chinese auction or a raffle, as it were. And we've got tons of people on board with that as well. Sensi, LuLaRoe. I'm trying to think. Oh, we got Stan Lee to autograph Hulk gloves for us for the auction. And we went to the local comic book store in Main Street. They donated a $200 limited edition Guardians of the Galaxy. So we're getting a little bit of everything. And one of the things, I agree with Mike, I am going in blind with this, is that we're taking the public's personal opinions on what they want to see there as well. Because you want something for everybody, because sometimes if they don't see anything that's going to pique their interest besides a child, they're not going to want to come. So, of course, we did a survey, and people are going nuts because I'm actually delivering of what they want, because everybody knows what they want. And as far as ticket sales, it is $5.50 for a table of 10. It is $120 for a set of 2, and it is $65 for a single.
So bringing it back up, it's going to be $65 a ticket.
Right.
Right. If you buy 2 tickets,
$120.
You're getting $120, so it's $10 off, right?
Yep.
So if you buy 2 tickets, guys, you buy them together, you're going to save $10 off the bat just by going there. Which, who's coming to one of these by themselves, right? So you're going to buy a couple of tickets, right? So you're going to buy $120. If you're feeling like you're in a good nature and you want to sit by yourself, you can get your own table, right? And how much is the table?
$550 for 10.
So you can literally sit at a table for 10 by yourself for $550, or you can get together with a bunch of friends, have some drinks, eat lots of food, and get together for a good cause for $550. So it's that time of the month where you could sit there and say, hey, we're going to get together and do some double dating, and you can go ahead and get yourself a table there for $550. Or again, if you just want to go there and probably sit with a bunch of strangers, you can go ahead and get yourself a single ticket. You never know. You might meet your significant other as she did it on a website, right? So you never know who you can meet and who you can come across. So it's a great little thing there, and you'll automatically show that you guys have good-hearted because you're there to support Luke and his journey. And from what I understand, you're also going to be starting a Facebook page for him as well, for Luke, to support him as well.
Yes.
And to let people see his continued growth and success. Is that right? Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about. Do you already start the page yet?
I have not started the page
yet. You have not started the page yet. So I guess we're going to have you back so you can tell everybody about what Facebook page it's going to be. I'm assuming it's probably going to be something with Luke in his name. His name's going to be somewhere on it, I'm assuming. But guys, if you're out there, if you're listening, you enjoy this, please like and share. Help Jennifer Miller and her family, get this information out there to others. If you have the time, if you are capable of making a donation, feel free to reach out to them at 410-688-6498 or get them on Facebook at Luke's Mega Minion Bash. Even if you just want to share their stories, tell them to stay strong, give them some motivational support. I guarantee you Jennifer would really appreciate it. And again, guys, God bless, and hope you like my podcast.
Thank you very much for everything, guys. Hope to see you there.